It's this quarantine life is it's funny. I just did a webinar with my safe space and we were talking about building on the quarantine. And what I did was, I don't think I have my paper here still, but what I had everyone do is I created this image where it was like stairs, and
Mhm.
each step I made people go back to week 1 of the quarantine, week 2, week 3, week 4, and really build on like what has happened. And even if there was something negative that happened every single week, no matter what, people always saw a progress of the week before, because a
Mm.
lot of people feel weak, be it in their fitness or their job or their marriage, and we're stuck in the house together. But there's this unconscious thing that happens, that change is going to happen no matter what. It's either
Mhm.
going to change. I think all things in terms of like the way you process things always change for the better, but sometimes physically we can regress because we let the stress take over. But I really kind of help people understand that they subconsciously started a new journey, and they have subconsciously gained some new superpowers from this new journey. And people were like, oh, wow, like I can do more push ups, or my cardio has gotten better. Where it's something that they were focused so much on the negative things that they didn't see the positive
Mhm.
things that were happening. I know that was a lot, but that's, that's what's
No,
happening.
no, no. There's definitely a lot of that. And are we, Zach? Are we recording? Are we starting the
Yep.
thing now?
Yep.
Okay,
I
cool,
started recording already.
cool. That's been something really interesting that I've noticed too, just in terms of our family dynamic. Is before this, it was constantly go, 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 softball practice, swimming practice, commuting back and forth downtown to the different programs that the kids are involved in and stuff. And when you're just home, it's just family all the time. Sometimes a bit much, but uh, but it is interesting how much what really matters really steps up when you're locked down like this.
But I also think that I love how you admittedly said, and sometimes family is a bit much, because I
Hmm.
think that, especially with social media, you always think like things are great, things are great, things are great, because people post these like snapshots in time and like all the amazing things. And I actually, a couple weeks ago, I posted straight up, I was like, I had like multiple breakdowns, like the kids were
Hmm.
crazy. I did, like, I had to be honest. And the more I was honest with myself, the more I was able to, like I said, progress forward. So I'm just really happy you said that, because I think it's going to help people feel normal.
Well, that's something that I wanted to point out too. Is just that there are so many people in the like fitness, self-help industry, and that's one of the things that's always drawn me to you is your vulnerability, your openness about your struggle, because someone looking at you would not see someone that struggles. They would see somebody who's just looking good all the time, having a great time. And you share those struggles. And I appreciate that because it normalizes my struggle too. So, and that's something that Zach and I have really kind of made a point of this show to do, is to normalize how hard it is to try and take care of yourself when the world demands so much of you.
Well, I want to say thank you, man, because I'm a really emotional guy. So to hear other guys, a lot of
Hmm.
guys they don't really tap into that emotional space. And especially a lot of times when I talk to my guy friends one on one, they really open up, because I think
Hmm.
that a lot of men out there feel weak when they
Hmm.
show emotion. And at least for me, I've kind of gotten used to being like, hey, I'm going to help people by showing my vulnerability. But in addition to that, I just thank you, because it actually makes me feel another level of good to know that another guy out there understands the way that I feel.
Totally, totally.
Yeah.
Zach, you want to jump in? I don't want to dominate the conversation.
No, you're doing wonderful.
Yeah, Zach, jump in. So anyway, so that's, I can keep talking. I have a lot to say,
Oh,
but
sure. Well, I was going to start by apologizing for my appearance, but somebody just kicked my ass on day 2 of this 60-day challenge.
man, don't ever apologize for your appearance. Don't ever apologize for your appearance. Look, we're all
Uh,
stuck in the house. Who
yeah.
who needs to look? I actually, yo, so this is like so funny, and I'm actually gonna put this on my Instagram story when I'm done. So a friend of my birthday was this Saturday, right?
Hmm.
And
Happy
so
birthday, by the way.
thanks. My friend sent, like, people sending like gifts in the mail or whatever, and my friend sent me some cologne, and I'm like, she must be able to tell that I have taken way less showers during the quarantine, and I smell like, I'm telling you, dude, yo, I walk around the house and I'm like, you have to be kidding me. Like, you cannot smell like that. I'm surprised that when my kids want to get on my lap, they don't jump off and be like, Papa, you smell. I'm like, that's unconditional love right
Oh my
there.
God, that's
But I got
awesome.
some new Jimmy Choo cologne, so I'm hoping that'll help me out.
There you go.
My daughter actually brought me my deodorant the other day and was like, Daddy, here, you need to wear this a little bit more.
I love it. I love it. So while we need to dig deep in our fitness, we need to dig deep in our showers. But I'm glad you are on day 2 of my challenge. So how's it going for you? I want to know why you joined the challenge.
Your challenge came along at the perfect time. You were talking about how we're all sort of progressing through whatever this normal is, and for weeks it's been sort of just getting through the day, getting food in the kids' faces, getting as much schooling in as we can, getting as much work done as possible, going to bed and doing it again. As this has become more normal, there's become more room in my mind for taking care of myself and making time to take care of myself. And we talked to Carl, I forget his last name or how to say his last name, the head of
Deichler?
Beachbody. Yeah, Carl Deichler. We talked to him a few weeks ago, and I when we talked to you last year, I did Transform 20. I had just started when we talked to you. I'd never finished a workout routine in my life. That one I finished. So thank you. It was incredible.
My man.
Um, and
Thank
so
you.
I kind of got to a point where I was like, okay, I should dive back into my Beachbody and see what workouts can I slowly start introducing into my day. And so I started with like the 3-day yoga retreat or 3-day yoga
3-week
reset.
yoga
And
retreat. Oh, the
well,
reset.
the
Yeah.
3-day one, and then I did the 3-week one.
Cool.
And then I was like, okay, so what next? And then I saw your post about a week ago about the 60 days of hell coming up, and I was like, this is perfect timing. I'm gonna dive in, and I finished his last one, so I'm gonna finish this one too. So my wife and I both started doing it yesterday, and
Yes.
so I got day 2 done today, and I'm hurting. I'm I'm a little mad at you, but I'm a little happy as well.
If you weren't mad
Um,
at me, I would kick you out of the group. I tell people when people come up to me and they say, I hate you. I'm like, okay, cool. That means you're doing it right. I mean, you must be like super crazy if you really love me and you're working hard. But most people say, I hate you. And that tells me that they're actually doing what I tell them to do.
Yeah, Zach was teasing me because he's like, how many people get to do Shaun T's workout and then 5 minutes later get on a call with them and tell them how mad they are?
Hey, I love it. Wait, so the real question is Zach doing it?
Yep, I'm doing it
Zach?
too.
Okay, all right, all right. That was a good answer.
Yeah, I'm working through a little bit of a rib injury now, so I'm a little slower, but I am modifying where I need to and still doing it. But the bigger thing is that my wife is not real big into these kind of workouts, and she's doing it with me as well. So
Yeah. So I'm,
Yeah.
I'm glad you both said that. Something you started because you realized that you kind of wanted to do something for yourself, or you finally realized that in this quarantine you had to do something for yourself. And then Zach, I love that you said your wife is doing it, and it's not something that she normally would do. And for people out there who are doing this calendar, this hybrid calendar workout, it's going to get very, very tough. It's going
wait,
to get very, very tough. And the reason why I say that is because I really want people to finish this no matter how hard it gets. I want people to finish it. And the reason why is because if you work on something, and that something being yourself, for 60 days and you're doing something so terribly difficult, there's something amazing that's happening, which is, and I may have told you guys this before, but you are in your head when you get to a certain point in the workout, you have to constantly keep telling yourself, keep going. Because
Mhm.
most of the time, even me, after doing this crap for 20 years, I'm trying to walk out. I'm like, I'm out. Like, he is, you know, so the fact that I'm constantly saying, like, go, or I'm feeling a
Mhm.
burn, go. For people out there who are working that hard every single day for 60 days, not only will the physical results be amazing, but imagine how much mentally strong you'll be. And I tell people, when you finish Insanity, or if you finish this calendar, every other workout you do, I'm telling you, it's not that necessarily is going to be this is better, but things will become easier because your mind will be stronger, and you won't look at that pain or weakness, or that out of breathness, if you will, and the exhaustion, you won't look at it as a moment that you want to give up. You'll look at it as a moment that your mind is saying, okay, like, cool, like, I'm stronger than this. This is
Mm-hmm.
where I can push. So,
I want to ask you about the details of the 60-day plan and sort of how it all came together. But on that note, yesterday, the yoga workouts are awesome. It's just such a different animal to do yoga versus what you offer. And it was so interesting to me how immediately when I was done yesterday, all the feelings I had from a year ago doing Transform 20, it just reignites that confidence that I did something that was hard and I finished it. And I felt better all day. It's partially because I do it outside in my backyard. So I'm getting a lot of fresh air. I'm getting outside. The weather's nice, but I'm also working and getting out a lot of that anxiety and that stress that I hang on to and that I just carry with me through the day. So it was such a great feeling to have that familiar, like, I can accomplish difficult things, that just triggered immediately when I was done. And it got me excited to do it again today. I'm sure it'll come along here again any minute once I catch my breath again. But that feeling happens immediately when you accomplish, I think, even the first day, because it's such a challenging course.
and I love that you brought up anxiety. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
something so important that a lot of people don't talk about. And last year I kind of opened up about my anxiety struggles, and just foundationally, working out really helps with your anxiety, because it just kind of like, while you're pushing yourself to the max up here, it also kind of, in a way, a weird way, it calms you down. And
Mm-hmm.
so, I just want people to know that if you're super stressed, exercise is just a really great tool to just kind of level you out and balance you out. Like, those
Mm-hmm.
endorphins release, and man, it's like, I don't know if I ever told you guys this either, but I used to, years ago, this has to be about 20 years ago, I was taking depression medication, and I started taking this depression medication, but I also was teaching classes. And I realized that when I was teaching group exercise classes, my anxiety, my stress, my depression, like, all that heavy feeling just, like, went away. And so that's when I first realized that exercise was, I used to call it, like, exercise is my drug. I also realized, for me personally, it was more of like anxiety and past like what happened to me as a kid that was like filtering into my life. And then I realized therapy actually helped me out with my depression. And some people obviously need medication, but therapy and fitness really, really helped me out. So I want people to also, if you're super stressed, or if you have anxiety, or if you're feeling heavy every day, just pushing play and starting to move. Just, I'm not a doctor, but it definitely helps a little bit. It definitely gets you, that feeling of accomplishment that turns into a positive feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can testify to that myself. I mean, a few years ago, what I thought was like a normal level of anxiety, I went and actually got officially tested, and turns out I was off the charts anxious, and I just thought it was normal. But doing your workouts every day was actually, um, I found if I did them late in the day, I was anxious throughout the entire day. And then after the workout, I was fine. But if I did the workouts first thing in the morning, my entire day was just so much less on the anxiety level. So, I mean, there's definitely something to that.
Yeah, man, that morning workout is like, it sets you up for, even me. Like, if I work out later in the day, I definitely have, you know, the day leading up to that is definitely a little bit more, I don't want to say stressful, but it's a little bit more heavy. Whereas I work out in the morning now with this calendar, I was like, I got to get this shit done early. I'm like, I got to get this done early. I got to do some TikTok. I don't know if you guys follow me on TikTok.
Oh
I
yeah,
dance a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But when I get that hard workout done early, I do. I mean, I do feel so much better by the end of the day.
Yeah. So the hard workout portion of this, when I first heard about this group, I told my wife about it, but I didn't know any of the details. I just heard Shaun T's doing a program. So I automatically signed up. Had no idea what it was about. So I told my wife about it, and she's like, "Oh, I'll try it." And then she's like, "How's it going to start?" And I was like, "Well, he likes to ease people into things. So I bet there's going to be some hip hop abs and, maybe some easy stuff." And she had some words with me. when she found out the truth. So, you know, this is a really hard workout, and this is just hitting really hard. Was this something that was already in the works, or is this in response to the current situation that everyone's already in?
You know, I've been wanting to do something like this for a while because innately, like the soul and the core of who I am, I want people to work really freaking hard. And I have all these programs out there, and some people will finish them and then they're like, "Oh, I got through that." But there's something about them wanting to like keep on going, and they need that push to keep going,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because when you finish an
Yep.
insanity or an asylum, you're like, "Oh, I got through that." Like, "Oh, maybe I can do something a little bit easier now," right? And I want people to know, like, no, like you can actually capitalize on doing hard things. That's one thing. But the more important thing is the reason why I developed Insanity in general and I wanted to take on that program is because at the time I was watching infomercials on TV where they said, you know, drink this and you'll lose 15 pounds and be ready to go to the beach. And I'm like, this is BS. And,
Mm-hmm.
or it was like, everything's easy and, you can get the best body you ever had by like, sitting on a couch and squeezing this thing. Right. And I'm like, so it's no shade to other, like those products work. Like people might laugh, but like I said, the shake weight works.
Mhm.
It just does. If you shake your arm long enough, like there's gonna be some muscular endurance that grows, like the thigh master, like the ab thing, like these all work. But there's something about you using your body and the way that I make you use your body that elevates the workout, it elevates your ability to dig deeper, and you only have two places to go: out or in. And if you decide that you want to stay in, as I was saying before, there's something that happens. And so I wanted to build, I finally wanted to, after 15 years of being in commercial fitness, I finally wanted to build a community of people who are like, I can attack anything. And so I'm actually releasing tomorrow night when the group closes, you know, you got all part of the founding class of Dig Deeper Nation. And everyone in there, like, I'm gonna have a shirt available, hopefully get some wristbands. Like, this is it. Like, these people who have been with me for the last 15 years, I'm like, it's our time to now come together and show people, or even if you just join me, like you're taking on something hard. And so I wanted to form a community of people that are like, no matter what, like I know I can do it. And I have thousands of people to support and back me up.
Well, let's talk about the doing it. The 60 days. It is basically a compilation, kind of greatest hits of Shaun T workouts. Um, Walk us through sort of the planning of this and why it is laid out the way it is.
So the planning of this is I wanted to start off super tough, super hard. The first 2 weeks, phase one, is what I believe you need to mentally dig deeper. While I know the physical body is going to have, you're going to be sore, you're not going to be able to get up off the toilet, you're going to lose weight, as long as you have a nutrition thing, which I have something for you guys. But the first 2 weeks are designed purely from me and my experience of like kicking people's butt into high gear. So that's phase one. The cool thing about this hybrid calendar, though, phase two is going to be what you need. So usually I develop something and I create the whole thing, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like I know this is what you need. But after about 9 days, we're going to do a live chat, and I'm going to ask questions, and I'm going to look in the feed at the comments and see, do you need cardio? Do you need strength? Do you need stretching? Do you need what do you need nutrition wise? And so phase 2, 3, and 4 would be really led and guided by, the nation, Dig Deeper Nation, like my
That's
people.
cool.
That's
So,
fantastic.
and the other thing that's kind of really cool about it is that I, if you notice, I had people do before pictures with the date on it, because a lot of times they're like, this is my before pictures from 5 years ago. I'm like, well, let's be present, right? What do
Mm-hmm.
you look like now? and I want the date on it, and it's less more about like your how much better your abs got. It's really about the time that you committed. Like you see the date that you started your commitment, and you see the date where we do our after photo. So it's more about I committed for 60 days rather than I lost 30 pounds in 60 days, right? It's like,
Yeah.
holy shit, like I see the date. Like this is like I actually did this and I committed and I can celebrate it.
I was
I
curious
actually,
about that. Sorry, go ahead, Zach.
yeah, I was going to say, I took my picture yesterday, and there's a bit of a COVID spare tire that may have developed when I looked at the picture, but so I haven't uploaded it yet. But you know, after this, I'm definitely going to throw it up there and just be like, it is what it is.
Yeah, man. Like it is what it is. It is what it
See,
is.
you guys are stronger than me. I can't do it. I don't.
Yes, you can.
I'm
Listen to
I'm
me.
I'm a very vulnerable dude, but I don't think I can share that.
You don't think you can share, or you know you can't share it.
There's a lot of things that I thought I couldn't do uh, up until a few years ago when I got on this train, and so I don't. I I've come a long way. I've done things I didn't think I could do. Right now, I don't think I can do that. I'm sure I could be convinced. I'm not a black and white guy. There's maybe something will happen that will change my mind. But right now, the idea of posting this flabby ass body on the internet, nope.
Well, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You just described your body
Uh-huh.
to the listeners.
Yes.
You just described it. So
Hmm.
what's gonna be the difference with you showing it?
Ooh,
Like
gotcha.
you wanna leave it up to us to just imagine what you look like? Because I'm gonna
But
tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm not convincing you to do it. I say take the
oh,
picture
no,
and hold it in your phone for you,
sure.
right? You don't have to share it with me. But the thing that I will tell you is like people who do show that and they commit to the time frame, not just the change of body,
Hmm.
are the most inspirational people
Hmm.
because there are so many people that relate to, you know, the COVID body or the quote
Yep.
unquote flabby ass body. I mean, the reason why I got into this journey is because I gained 50 pounds overweight. Right.
And that's the thing. I don't even remember when it was now, a couple of years ago, but I mean, I'm down 60 pounds from where I was when I began this journey. And I do look back and go, I wish I'd taken a picture, but I didn't really make a conscious effort to, I'm going to start working out and I'm going to lose this weight. I just made lifestyle changes, and then the weight started coming off. And so I look back in my old photos and try and find pictures of how I looked to try and remember. But I do wish I had at least taken one so I could go, man, look how far I've come since then.
I'll
And
meet you halfway.
okay.
I'll meet you halfway. Do you have like a like fit like clothes that are a little smaller that you're like, I can't
Yeah.
really fit into that? How about you wear them in the picture and
Okay.
then wear them at the end of the 60 days so we can but still take your picture that you show for yourself, but
Sure.
because then that way people will see your clothes fitting differently, but it'll be again it's more about the fact that you committed for this time frame. So
Sure. No, that's a good compromise.
that's a good compromise. I'm a good
Yeah.
compromiser.
I just decided to sit back and let you take it on and convince Jeremy to do
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Zach's
So,
the one that convinced me to ride rides at Disneyland for the first time in my life. So,
oh my
he's
gosh, I've
he's
done
done
that
his
to my
he's done his work.
friends. I've gotten my friends on roller coasters that hate roller coasters.
Ah, hate it. Hate it.
They're the best. I love
They're
them.
the best. Where do you guys live? I can't remember.
So I'm in New York now, and Jeremy's in Seattle.
What part of New York?
I'm in upstate in Albany.
Okay, Seattle. Man, we should hang out when I come there. We might be jumping in an RV and taking my family up there because my kids' grandparents, my in-laws, they just turned 77 and it's like 100 degrees here now.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're trying to decide if we don't have to go up there, but we like them to be with the boys as much as possible, twin boys.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
we might be coming up to Seattle. Not that we can hang out because we be
Yeah,
socially
exactly.
distancing, but still.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't have to twist my arm. I'm happy to hang out anytime.
You would have to work out first. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally joking. I'm joking. But I did the other thing I want to say because I don't have that much time left. But
Yeah.
I wanted people to know that the other side to fitness, that I have is food. I think it's really
Hmm.
important that they know food. And there are a lot of food things out there, but I developed this thing called Move for Food, which is really just people becoming it's a six module course that really just helps you look within yourself and really helps you understand why you eat the way you eat, the culture of how you grew up. I have really great activities that you do in there, but one of the things that's really amazing is that you can do it with your family. Like, it's things that you can sit around with your spouse or your kids if they're a little bit older and really talk about food, because usually we parents, we put the food on the table or we take the kids where they want to go, or sometimes we're like, where do you want to go? There's no discussion amongst the family about, like, what are we eating, why are we eating this, and what do we like, what do we dislike, and you know mom, dad, or dad, or whoever you are, why do you choose that to eat? And so this course is really designed so that you have the open conversation with yourself and other people, and then in addition to it, you get you get so many recipes every week. You get recipes and snacks every single day for you to cook, and you could do it as a family and have a lot of fun. So if people want to check that out too, because that's going to be a really great way. If you follow this recipe and you don't have any like thyroid issues, that some people have issues where they can't lose weight, and you're doing these workouts, you're going to see amazing results.
That's very cool. Talk to us about the timeline. If somebody does want to jump in and be a part of this, when do they need to be in to get access to all this?
Right. So for you guys, we were going to close it tomorrow morning, but since you guys so wonderfully have me on your podcast today, we're actually going to just close it on Wednesday night. So at 11:59
Okay.
Thursday, or Wednesday night, if you will, we will close the group. My goal was to get 25,000 people, and we surpassed that already,
Oh,
which is
sure. Yeah,
amazing.
that's great.
But I'm so happy that I have another outlet of another community that could possibly join us and rock this together.
Awesome. Can't thank you enough for everything you do and for taking the time to talk to us again, man. You're an inspiration for a lot of people, us included, and it really means a lot to spend this time with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys are mad cool. Yeah, anytime. And like I said, I got to get you on my podcast. I'm gonna tell Sam, like, I got to get you guys over on my podcast.
Would love it.
That would be
Would
awesome.
love it.
I got a lot of questions for y'all too.
Okay, awesome, man. Thank you so much for your
right.
time.
Thank
That'd
you.
be
Thank
great.
you so much. I appreciate it. Have a good
Take care.
one.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Shaun.
Bye.
See ya.
All right. Just us.
Okay.
Wow.
That went well.
That was cool.
I kind of like the video.
I do. That was nice. All right, I'm going to stop the recording.